Ooh, hello, hello. So, the news story today says creepy man thinks he can touch doctor's 18-year-old assistant with, let's just find out.
Genital area.
No, sir, I wouldn't lie to you. I've never lied a day in my life.
Well, what would you say that if I said if there was possibly a video or audio recording of that room when this took place?
Do you not remember her saying no? Is that what you're saying? So you wouldn't remember her giving permission either?
He also said, "I'm not going to touch you." And I said, "No." And he just grabbed me.
On February 1st, 2022, officers responded to a complaint about a man who was getting chiropractic work done. The assistant informed the police that before his adjustment, there was inappropriate touching. Here's what happened.
So I'm Tony. Are you the one that was assaulted? Yeah. Okay. Just, if you want to kind of just give me some background information.
That's a crazy tone right there. I'm Tony. Are you the one that's been assaulted? Okay. What's going on?
This patient, somebody that comes here a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not sure the frequency, but,
What's the patient's name? About how old is he?
I think he's 34, 32.
Okay. Has he been a problem in the past?
No, he's just a little, off for sure. And he
little
has
off.
made me a little uncomfortable, just, the way he carries himself, but nothing seriously occurred until yesterday.
Okay. Is he a white male?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Do you happen to know his birthday, or could you get it for me at some point? Okay. Okay. And we'll probably need his address and phone number too. And then just tell me briefly what happened yesterday.
I did write it here. I took him to the room. He was getting stim therapy, and I was sitting at the computer, and I was asking him the normal subjective questions, what's your pain level? And he just kept interrupting me. He said, you need an adjustment, like chiropractic adjustment. I was like, oh,
Okay.
no, I don't. And I was like, oh.
So she was just doing her job, and then he told her she needs an adjustment?
Sorry. I said, the doctors already did it today. Like, I'm good. And I said, no. And he grabbed me by my arm and turned me around. He grabbed me like this.
Okay.
And picked up my whole body and brushed it up against his.
Okay.
What? The dude just wiped himself down with her like a towel? That's wild.
And the first thing he said is he laughed and he said, "You're light."
Yeah, that's
And
creepy, man. If a girl says no, and you do it anyways, and then you say some creepy shit like that, you're gonna go to jail, directly to jail.
Crying silently, and I walked out. Summer said, "What just happened?" I was like, "Nothing." And she's like, "What just happened?" I started crying, and I threw up out there because I was so disgusted.
Okay.
What's going on with the... Okay. Some accent.
He also said, "I'm not going to touch you." And I said, "No."
No!
And he just grabbed me.
Okay.
And, Dr. did kick him out.
Okay. Did you guys call the cops yesterday?
I think the only thing she did was get in touch with the VA.
Okay.
Ah,
Is he...
man, he's a veteran. Damn it. My people.
Is he pay, or is he here sent here by the VA?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you feel like it was a sexual type of groping, or was he just trying to do some chiropractic thing to you, or?
Well, I've thought about it a lot, and I think anybody would know better. And he did grab me here, and I felt everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but, that's just your chest area. I don't think he was trying to grab some boob.
So, and I couldn't even take my clothes off yesterday. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't do anything.
Okay. Did he say anything that would indicate, or did...
Did he say anything? Like, hey, you looking good, girl. Was he saying some creepy
this is
stuff?
awkward. This is awkward.
It's gotta be done now.
This guy act like he's 12 years old. He's like, I know this is awkward. Like, he's just asking her out, and he's like, I don't know how to do this. Oh, this is awkward. I'm just gonna go.
I couldn't even take my clothes off yesterday. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't do anything.
Okay. Did he say anything that would indicate, or did, I know this is awkward. This is awkward.
Gotta be done now.
The turn around and they're just this is oh my god.
I'm just gonna have a seat. Did he mention anything else, or, I mean, just any details that you can give me to kind of?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of it was blurry, to be honest.
Yeah, imagine.
Doctor, like I said, he grabbed me there and he laughed and he said, "You're light," and that was his first comment. And then I did tell Dr. and he was like, "You got to get out of here." Well, the first thing he said, Dr. opened the door and he said, "I didn't do anything."
Okay.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah. It was just you and him at that point until Dr. came in. Okay. What time was this?
About 5 p.m. yesterday.
Okay. I think what we have, just based on what I'm hearing, is
So the doctor came in there, told him to get out, and he's like, "I didn't do anything." And she was amazed by that. Like, that's like anyone's reaction to like an escalation of a situation, right? Because apparently he was just like saying he was going to give her an adjustment, and then he did that, right? It didn't seem like it was sexual. I think he was like kind of flirting or whatever else he was doing. But after he did the adjustment thing, put her down, he's like, "Oh, you're light," and he just tried to make a joke of it. It seems like more like the guy can't really read social cues very well, but I don't think he was trying to be predatory. So it'd be in line for him to be like, "I didn't do anything."
are you bruised anywhere? Have you had a chance to check?
I mean, I briefly did. I didn't really see anything.
Okay.
It's kind of difficult. Like, I cried so much yesterday. I didn't even drive home. Like,
Okay.
my boyfriend did.
I bet
Lady,
your
you don't
boyfriend.
have to ham it up. You couldn't move yesterday, but you can move perfectly fine now. Cried so much yesterday, but you couldn't give a shit right now. It's just like, I get it. You're freaked out. The man's already in trouble. There's no need to dramatize the situation.
Wasn't happy about
I
that.
don't know, but he didn't show it. He's been an angel about it.
Okay. All right. Well, what you're describing is a sexual, or not a sexual battery, but a simple battery.
It's very simple.
Unless we have any visible injuries, then it would become a battery, because that's the distinction. A battery includes some type of, visible injury.
And I mean, I know you might not be able to give me your opinion, but like I didn't want to be dramatic about it. I didn't, flip.
You don't want to be dramatic about it. I couldn't move all of yesterday. Oh, I just broke down in tears. Oh my God. I don't want to be dramatic.
I just started
you did.
I felt so disgusting. I couldn't take my clothes off when I got home. Like, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You felt disgusted. That's why you couldn't take your clothes off. I thought you couldn't move. That's why you couldn't take your clothes off. Lady.
So I just hope I'm doing the right thing, and I want to protect anybody else in the future,
Yes, ma'am.
Protect.
I would highly encourage, if he does, first of all, was he told not to come back?
Probably.
Okay. So if he shows up again, we can tell Dr. Hey, just, tell him that he needs to leave, and then call us. We will try to get a vehicle description so we can find out what he's in. I mean, if you want to have him, if you feel comfortable having him wait in the waiting room, as long as he's not around any of the staff, that'd be better, because he'll be here when we get here. We need to talk to him and bar him in person is what I'm saying.
The doctor did tell him to not come back.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
In order for us to be able to arrest him, it has to be done in front of us. It's fine. Hopefully he won't come back, just from what the doctor told him. And then, no, I don't think you did it. I think you acted very appropriately. You did what you had to do. You got out of the situation. You didn't make it, escalate or anything worse, So it's kind of strange, being in that situation.
Yeah,
Talk about an awkward
it's strange
situation
what he
to
did.
be in, with somebody
It was definitely
that you're just
awkward.
trying to treat and trying to
But
help.
like, after
So,
he did what he
kudos
did,
to you.
he didn't take any
My hat's
further
off to you.
actions
I'm glad
towards
you're
it.
okay. Just try to, if you do need to talk to people, talk to your boyfriend, talk to your family. Let them.
Therapy on Thursday.
Good. Good.
I'll talk to them about the situation and see if they think I need to go to sexual
See,
assault.
stuff like this is why people, you know what I mean? Why I don't care when people think I'm insensitive. It's just like, I think of all the things that I went through as a child, falling off of things, breaking stuff, you know what I mean? Just hurting myself. Like, and become an adult, and then to learn that the most basic things traumatize grown people just blows my mind. I just can't even fathom it. Like, I've been in serious pain as a kid where I'm like, I didn't think I would survive. And then after it was over, perfectly fine. After it was over and I healed up and everything, I didn't look back on that shivering. I didn't have nightmares about it. And then I become an adult, and then just an emotional situation leaves people paralyzed. And I'm just like, what is that?
Center, but I think I'll be okay.
If you need anything else from us, just let us know, okay? So you okay now?
Yes, and I appreciate you and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Y'all are awesome.
Well, we appreciate you guys. You guys are kind of on the front lines just like we are, you know.
Yeah.
We deal with the same kind of stuff all the time, same kind of people. We try to help people too, you know. It's
Of
just
course.
sometimes they don't want to help. They just want to be crazy. I was dealing with a guy this morning.
They just want to be
At
crazy.
the hospital, he had swallowed a bag of heroin because he didn't want to go to jail.
Oh, bless your heart.
As you do.
You deal with the craziest stuff.
I know.
Now a few quick questions for the doctor before the suspect's interview.
If you just want to call us, we'll bar.
Joel, was it Joel? I can't really read. Kraft? Something like that? Because they were blocking out his name before, but it's on his shirt.
Him from the property.
Okay.
That way, if he comes back again, he goes to jail. We'll explain it to him and tell him, look, you come back on this property, it's trespassing. You will be arrested.
Yeah.
So just don't come back.
Yeah.
So I know she mentioned that you had told him.
I told him to come back here, call the police right away. Like,
Okay.
Is the body cam by his head?
It's like at that
So-
face and, yeah,
So
dude is ginormous.
is he?
Like 6'4".
Okay.
Probably 350, 360. Yeah. I think
Yeah, Joel Kraft.
he's
Croft. Yeah. Croft. It's Croft.
ex-Marine too. So it was a little,
Yeah, that's concerning.
yeah, I was like,
Is he PTSD or something?
you'd have a shirt on. I remember the first day it said,
Okay.
PTSD. Some scars are not visible, you know. And I'm like, you asshole, you're doing that to somebody else.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
yeah.
him grabbing her
Yeah.
is like
Yeah,
us
that's-
grabbing a toddler.
Yeah, that's
And it's just
It's like grabbing a
I didn't know
toddler.
what was gonna.
I mean, he did say he was 6'4", which
Yeah, I
I didn't
means
realize.
just by virtue of his size, the act could have been inappropriate, but just by the virtue of his size and the fear that she would feel would just make the situation worse on him. But he could have been doing the same action as someone that's like the same size as her. Like, imagine if a woman did that to her. The exact same action. Wouldn't even warrant jail time. She would just get kicked out of the place. Maybe, if that. That lady certainly wouldn't go home crying and couldn't move or any of that stuff. But just from the virtue of the fact of him being a man and being that large, he's a monster. He's a monster.
Realize he was that.
Yeah, he's a big.
And she's just
at
tiny.
least 350.
Yeah. Okay.
At least 350. So just
Well.
He's big.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we get it. He's
my
big,
hats
man.
off to you guys. Y'all handled it perfectly. Call us. We'll bring the SWAT team if we have to. Goodness gracious.
SWAT team? Because the man is
Thank you,
6'4"?
The officers were able to contact the suspect and get him to come in for an interview. Here's what he said happened.
Alright, I'm just going to read you something real fast. You have the right to remain silent. Anything. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
I've got nothing to hide.
You go to the...
I did.
Okay. And who's your doctor there?
I don't even remember his name.
Okay.
Joel
What
Kraft.
kind of treatment did you receive there?
Kraft.
Just to get my back adjusted and stuff like that. That's all it was there for.
Okay, so what kind of treatments do you usually get there?
It was just an adjustment to my neck and adjustment to my back. That was it.
Is he married?
Okay. So the day that I called you about, can you explain to me from the beginning what happened that day?
I don't remember the whole conversation because I've been dealing with my father-in-law who's about to have to go in for triple bypass surgery. So I don't remember a lot of the details. I've been stressed out about that situation.
Okay, he sounds like he's lying already. I was stressed out. I was going through something emotional. My memories just delete themselves when that happens, you know.
Only thing
You know what's also an emotional situation? Someone screaming at you and kicking you out of their place, especially when you go to a doctor's visit. That'll be very memorable.
I will say about the whole incident was the assistant gave me permission to do so. I picked her up. I put her down. Nothing more, nothing less. There was no foul play. There was no foul language. No nothing. There was no. I don't do that. I've kept my nose clean for 32 years, and I plan on keeping it that way.
Okay.
Kept my
Do you
nose
remember the
clean.
day at all?
Barely at all.
Wait, do you remember going into the office?
The lying, man. What he could have done would have been very odd at best, but the lying makes it seem a little bit more nefarious.
That day?
I remember going into the office, but after that, everything was such a blur because the doctor pretty much rushed me out of the office and cussed me out.
After
And
the
I was
fact.
so upset. After I get upset, I just forget about everything. And like I said,
That's not even how memory works. I got so upset, I just forget about anything, every time I get upset, I just forget about anything.
I'm tied up with my father-in-law also, so that's been a big stress on me as well.
Alright,
Father-in-law, so he is married.
do you remember the person that you saw for treatment that day?
It was the treatment when even started. It was the assistant before I get the treatment.
Okay. And
Yes.
what was going on? Like, what were you and the assistant doing before anything happened?
I was just sitting there conversating. I don't remember what the whole conversation was, but we was just sitting there conversating, and that was it.
And
Conversate.
Where were you in the room? As
I
well?
was sitting on a bench about yay long. I remember right about yay long. I was just sitting on it talking to her. That's all I was doing.
Was this in the lobby or in the room?
In the room.
And was there anyone else in the room with you guys?
No.
Okay. And where was the assistant sitting?
Yeah.
At her computer, and like I said, we were just conversating, and she gave me permission to pop her back. I put her down immediately afterwards.
Can you?
Gave you permission to pop her back? She works at a, what is that, she works at a place that does that. The word escapes my brain at the moment. I must have been too upset, and my memory left me.
Can you explain to me what you mean by pop her back?
All I do it because I have two character witnesses that would attest to this. I do not pop nobody's back unless I have their permission. I have
Why are you constantly popping people's back?
two people who can attest to that. All I did was right here, up and down. That's it.
So how did the conversation move?
Okay. I know what he's talking about. In the Marine Corps, there's a lot of people that you carry heavy stuff, especially backpacks and all that stuff, and your back starts to hurt, especially your lower back. And there's a lot of people that do that same technique just to pop back and stuff like that. It doesn't help. But in the moment, it feels like a little bit of relief, but then it starts to hurt afterwards. Because you're going to be doing the same activity anyways. And after you pop your back and then you put stress on it again, it's just going to hurt.
I don't remember because, like I said, I've been so stressed out with my father-in-law. I didn't forget all about this whole incident. To be honest with you, because this has not been on my worry list.
I understand.
Did the assistant say anything to you afterwards?
No, nothing. It was in the conversation at that point. I minded my own business. That's as far as it went.
You
I
minded
my
your own business after
So what happened
picking her up.
after you popped the back?
Okay, I lay down. I was waiting on the doctor to come in, and next thing I know, the doctor comes in there and runs me out of the office. And after that, I ain't spoke a word to him.
What did he say to you?
He said, "You get the hell out of my office right now." And I was like, "What have I done?" And he wouldn't take the time to
Violated
explain
my
to me or
assistant.
nothing. He ran me out of the office. Because if the question I have, if it was that big of a deal, why didn't Athens Clark get called the same day? Why did he allow me to leave?
What?
That's the question
Because
I
you're
have right there.
because you're
Why
freaking
wasn't it
6'4",
just held at the doctor's
and
office
you're
that
scaring
day,
the
sit there in
ladies.
about 2 weeks?
So, in a situation like this, no determination has been made yet on to what course of action takes place. That's why Officer Odom told you there's no warrants against you, no charges or anything. We're just trying to gather facts. But what I'm confused about is, and you're saying you don't remember, where you come in for an adjustment, how you get talking to this assistant about popping her back.
I'm trying to remember. Jeez, I'm trying to remember because I've said so much other crap. I really don't remember. I wouldn't lie to y'all. I really don't.
I wouldn't lie
Well, I
to you.
understand that, and I can understand. What we've got to determine the difference is what you did. Was it meant with malice? Was it meant malice against somebody's wishes? Or was it just, bad choices? We all make bad choices in life. Would you agree with that?
We all make
I
bad
believe we
choices.
all
Time to time, we all make mistakes. We don't make the best error of judgment,
It was no malice intended. I tell y'all face to face right now. It was no malice intended.
So the problem
Okay.
is this assistant is saying that you asked her to pop her back numerous times, and she kept telling you, "No, I'm good, thank you." And you were like, you were something to the nature of, "Look, I'm really good. I do this all the time. I pop backs. Let me just show you."
Yeah, hey, listen, I would be bragging about breaking backs, but he, you know what I mean? He's talking about popping backs, and apparently that's his thing. He just loves popping backs. Everywhere he goes, he just asks people to pop their back. I don't know why he gets off on that, but that's a weird thing, man.
Picked her up and popped her back. Now, so the thing is, if you did that, you didn't mean malice, and you didn't want it. You misunderstood or misread the situation. That could be.
I mean, I had permit because she said okay to it. I picked her up, and like I said, my hands were here. I didn't do nothing right here, nothing. All I did was picked her up. I set her down. Because the question I have is, can I use you for an example, ma'am?
She said he picked me up and rubbed me against himself. Even though they had the entire conversation about popping backs, why would she say something so odd? Like, he obviously picked her up and tried to pop her back, but she's like, well, he just picked me up, turned me around, and just wiped himself with me. It's just weird, man.
As a female, if somebody picks you up that you don't want to pick up, would you fight? I mean, you would punch, kick. And I know all the females I know in my life.
That's not a good line to go. Some of them freeze up, man. Actually, a lot of them freeze up. Have you ever seen a woman trip? Like, they don't even try to protect themselves. Like, it's this funniest, scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's as a person's natural instinct to protect themselves, especially when they're falling. Women, some reason, most of them just freeze. They just freeze and just go right down.
They would punch, kick me, and do something to get me off of them. There was no resistance when I picked her up, whatsoever.
Well, everybody, I've been doing this for 21 years, almost 22 years in law enforcement. Every person acts different on how they handle situations. So it's hard to say. That's like, I heard a lot of new officers say, well, she didn't have a wound, how could she be punched? I've seen a lot of people get punched and not show any sign of that, So my point, I know they're not the same. My point is that everybody reacts to everything differently.
Yep.
I respect that.
So this young lady
you?
is saying that you asked her numerous times to pop her back, and she
said no.
So
the only time I remember asking her was one time. That was it.
You only
That was the
remember
only
one
time I
time.
remember even saying anything about it. If anything, that's the only thing I remember.
You've been known to pop
What did she
backs.
say?
I don't know about that.
I'm really trying. My thing is to remember this because I wish I would have recorded all this crap.
Why
I don't
would you
want the
record
situation.
it, sir?
I believe the conversation started. Excuse me if it's not the right terms. I believe I was saying something about I wanted to go to school for that, something along those lines. And Jesus, hang on. And I fast forward because that was the first time. I said, I'm trying to remember here. Thank God my brain's not working.
Okay.
After the first time, I said, if anytime you want me to, and I believe it's on those lines, and she said, okay, you may. And
You
at that
may?
point, I picked her up, I set her down, put her down. That was the end of the story right there.
Okay, so let me explain something to you in the sense of, in this job, being a detective, investigating crimes, a lot of times we know some parts of the situation. You know, we're just trying to connect the dots on other situations.
What was the date? 2022? Okay.
So
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out why they have the mask on, so that's why they have the mask.
what I'm doing now is I'm locking you into statements, okay? So, and I'm going to be fair with you because that's the only way I know to work with it, okay? So what I've got you saying right now is that she never told you no, and that she gave you permission.
Yes.
So, would it surprise you,
Mm-hmm.
or what would you say that if I said if there was possibly a video or audio recording of that room when this took place? Because here, let me remind you, there's no allegation that you touched her inappropriately. And if you two correct me if I'm wrong, Officer Odom, but you didn't touch her breast, you didn't touch her butt with your hands, you know, anything of that nature. It's that you picked her up against her will. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you again to think about. If there was an audio video recording of that room when this took place, you have just now told me that she gave you permission
Yeah.
and that she never told you no.
Looking nervous.
So I'm going to ask you to think real hard about those answers.
I mean,
If there is an audio video recording.
He comes back and he's like, you know, sometimes people say no, but like you can tell by their body language. That's not going to go over well.
there it is. I will go out and sit down and watch it.
Well, that's not what we do right here. What I'm asking you now is I'm getting your side of the story to see how honest you're going to be.
I'm being straight up honest with you, sir. If there was anything across the board, I will not whatsoever, because that to me it's a detriment of my character. I would not pick up just any random person
You did.
anywhere in the world without
And you say you do it regularly.
100% permission. I'm not that way. Because I have two females I could call right now that
Oh,
will testify
God.
to my character.
Well, here's the thing. How old are you?
I'm about to be 33 in April.
So I'm 45. So we've been around a long time. And by no means am I an angel. I'm sure you're not either. I'm not judging your character there. But everybody has good character after the fact. Okay? Everybody has good character when they can pull in character witnesses. That's because it's hindsight is 2020.
Well,
So that's what I'm saying to this is about what we've got to determine what your motives were.
Need a character witness to find out if he has a thing for basic white girls. Is it because that's what he was creeping on?
And what we're judging now is your character and your honest ability. Okay?
yeah, that's fine.
Because in the moment, because I've been there. I've been there where I've misread girls back in the day when I used to go to the bar all the time.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
Sometimes you think a woman wants something. And by no means am I saying this is sexual assault. and
What are you admitting to?
Yeah.
But the problem I have is if this young lady, according to her statement, is that she told you repeatedly, no thank you. No, not interested. No thank you. Maybe not harshly because, you know, you are a client of theirs, but, you know, she's trying to be nice. Like, no thank you,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. And you misread the situation and you pick her up just to show, hey,
I mean,
I'm going to pop you back. Just because I can show you, I don't mean nothing by it. I'm a good guy. But if we're going to stick to the story of, she told me, and I didn't do nothing wrong,
yeah, that's
you
what I'm
know,
gonna stick with.
maybe this young
That's what
lady
he's going to stick with.
is good with an apology if you're honest.
Hey, stand on it. He
I
doesn't
don't
believe
feel
they have
you're
a
being
tape.
100% honest right now. I think you're trying to cover your tail is what you're doing.
No, sir, I wouldn't lie to you. I've never lied a day in my life. I've never been in one of these buildings.
That's a lie.
I've never been in one
Okay,
of these.
fair enough you've never been in the building, but I've never lied a day in your life.
Okay, yeah, to my parents maybe, but I'm not gonna lie in a
You're
situation
a lie.
like this because you have to cover a lie with another lie. She would give me permission. I wouldn't look you straight in the eyes, a man to man, say she didn't give me permission. She gave me permission. I picked her up and I put her straight down.
Okay, why would this young lady make this story up?
I don't know I don't know what the deal was. I really don't. If there was something that I missed, I don't know. But I swear to you, she gave me permission. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie because I'm not jeopardizing this. I'm not jeopardizing my job. I'm not jeopardizing nothing for something like this.
What were you wearing that day when you came to us?
I have a pair of
What
blue
were
jeans
you
and a t-shirt.
wearing? How could you, sir?
Shirt. because I done took this hoodie off and set it in a chair.
Okay. Did you find this young lady attractive?
No, not my type.
Not
None
your
whatsoever.
type?
What's your type?
You really gonna use the Trump defense? You know what happened to him, right? And you're not a politician.
My wife right here. That right there is my type. That's my wife. Not my type, too much trouble. I don't want that crap. I don't need it.
Do you have any further questions?
Are you not? Do you have any questions for me?
Well, if y'all don't mind me allowing, let me ask this question. In the interest of fairness, why did this take 2 weeks? I mean, couldn't it have been handled the same day at the doctor's office?
They have to track
That's
you
the question
down.
I have.
Well,
And
so
they have
the
to collect evidence and they have to track you down. And plus, they weren't going to prosecute you for anything. No one was filing anything. So it's going to take a while. They have other cases they have to get to.
allegations that are being made is this young lady said that you asked her numerous times to pop her back. She claims that she told you no numerous times. And then all of a sudden you picked her up from behind and were attempting to pop her back, and she felt your poking into her buttocks.
What? That's new? Well, he did say it was new allegations, but now all of a sudden he's poking her in the between the cheeks through his pants. She remembers an awful lot about the situation. He don't remember none of that.
So she cannot swear if you were erect or not, but that's what she thinks. So the thing is, allegedly she told the doctor, and I assume that's why the doctor ran you out, she felt violated, and whether that's the situation
Yeah,
or
man,
not,
if you're spreading her cheeks, picking her up and spreading her cheeks with your junk, that's a violation. Sorry. I'm sorry, bruh. If you were popping my back and you did that to me, I would have to fight you. We just can't have that.
she saw occur. So she immediately reported to the doctor as soon as that. Do you remember her running out of the room?
No, she walked out of the room because she threw a blanket. I was getting some kind of electrical therapy down on my back. She laid a hot blanket on me, and then she walked out of the room.
So, in reference to reporting, or a lot of times victims take a while to process and think about what they want to do. I don't know if I haven't talked to this young lady directly. Officer Odom can maybe fill you in better on that.
Well, I mean, trust me, that was not my type. I'm not into.
Do you have any children?
I have 4.
My time.
Oh,
I got a
no,
soon to
no
be.
particular daughter.
I got 2.
Oh,
2 daughters.
I got one 6 and 7.
okay. So they're not of age yet,
No.
but let's say they're 20
Of
years
age
old.
and
They're
someone
working
did
in a
that.
chiropractor's office, and let's go with her story. Okay. Let's go with her story that a man's asking her to pop her back. She tells him no, and he picked her up against her will, and she feels his up against her buttocks. How's that going to make you feel as a father when you hear that story?
I'll be going there and asking questions because you can't just go out there and do
I'm
it.
just saying, how would that make you feel?
I would be wanting to know answers.
Okay.
You'd be pissed off.
I would think as a father, because I have a 17-year-old daughter, at first glance, I'd be like, I'm about to go jack somebody up. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
number
but
two,
as a
I get
police
what you're-
officer investigating a case, you probably shouldn't have those feelings as your motivation, right? You're supposed to be impartial, innocent until proven guilty kind of stuff.
Saying, let's get the story. But my point is this: is ultimately it's up to this young lady what happens in this case, whether charges are brought, and depend on what we find. But I would think with my 17-year-old daughter that one thing
Thought she was
victims
18.
of doing this for almost 22 years, and I agree. This is what I do. I work sex crimes. I work domestic violence. Okay, you didn't girl. All right. Let's not even go into whether you meant this to be sexual or not. That's not my point. My point is you didn't hold this girl down. You didn't hold her down and feel on her. My point is, if this was
Why is he
a mistake,
mentioning that?
and ultimately it's up to this young lady, I think it's going to go a lot further if you're like, you know what? And this is just 2 actions I see here.
Don't admit to shit,
I
bro.
see this as 2 possible things. One, you're a dude that made a bad choice. You misread the room. You thought she wanted you to pop her back. She didn't, but you made a dumb mistake.
He wanted to blow her back out.
fair enough.
You shouldn't have picked her up. Or number 2, you're a dude that likes to go to places and do weird to referrals.
No, I've never.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. There's two scenarios.
I get you over that one, but I've never
So
been
the decision you have to determine is which of those are closer to you.
closer to me. Is just I made a. If I made a dumb mistake, I'll admit I made a dumb mistake because I'm not that kind of person. I stay at home. I don't go out party. I'm not that way.
I get it. And
Partying have to
my
do with
reading
any of
of you, and I
this.
hope you don't take this as wrong. You know, I see your shirt, you know, with the flag on it. Patriotic, country boy, loves life, you know.
Country
but
boy.
There's something to be said if what I want you to do is search your soul. Okay? I want you to look back to that day. I
Not
want
the
you
soul. The man's memories go away when he gets agitated. What do you think he keeps in his soul? Oops.
the truth will carry you a long way.
Yeah, and I'm being truthful right now.
So ultimately, this young lady and Officer Odom have to make the decision of where this case goes. And what that means is I'm being honest, whether you get charged with, it's probably simple battery or sexual battery, depending on the charge, is
Sexual.
us sitting here listening to you. We're recording it. I'm sure you can see that. You hear it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Flashed numerous times. You agree
Mm-hmm.
if you have permission. So if we watch this video, if there is a video, and we watch it, and during that incident, we see you, or we have seen you, talking to this young lady in an exam room, sitting on a brown bench like you said, or that bench like you said, and she's at her work desk, and you keep, I won't say bugging, but if I've seen it, it would look something like casual flirting, like we do in the office. Fun.
We do
And
in
you're,
the office.
"Hey, you know, I'm really good at popping backs. You want me to show you?" She says, "No, I'm good, thank you."
Why does he keep the way this officer talks? He sounds like he's guilty of some stuff, because that's just weird. Like you do in the office.
And you keep on, and you keep saying, "You don't understand. I'm really good. I do it all the time." And she says, "Look, I'm good."
That's some country flirting
And
right there.
she stands up, appears to be getting ready to do something, and you just, "Let me show you." And you wrap your arms around her because you're a big dude, and you pick her up and start popping her back.
I stand by what I said. I would never pick somebody up without their permission. I've had people tell me no. I never picked them up. I will not do that to avoid this situation right here.
Okay. I have no further questions, Officer Odom, unless you do.
I mean, that's a good strategy. They had a tape. They
So
wouldn't
when
be
you
doing all
usually
this.
get your chiropractor appointment, you're
Oh
wearing
shit! They do
t-shirts
have a tape. Oh my bad. Spoke too soon.
and jeans.
That's all I ever wear. This right here.
Is that right there?
Oh
That's
shit!
it.
I thought they were playing the tape. Is this lady in the side there that disappeared behind his fat ass arms?
Okay. And when you were in there, you don't remember her saying no, not even once. She didn't even say, "No, that's okay. The doctor's has already cracked my back this morning." That doesn't ring a bell at all.
Like I said, I don't remember the whole conversation. I've told you.
So when you tell me you don't remember the conversation, do you not remember her saying no? Is that what you're saying? So you wouldn't remember her giving permission either?
Damn. The trap. The trap is
Charlotte.
moving. Bro, say you did remember that part. Don't act all.
I stated before, I would not pick nobody up without their permission, and I'm sticking to that. That's all
But
I
you
want.
don't remember having that consent or permission is what I'm understanding.
don't remember her
The
saying-
only thing I remember is if I do something like that for a person, I do
Or
remember hearing,
he
okay,
already admitted to her to saying that she told him, "Yeah, you can do it." His specific words was, she said, "You have my permission."
that's as far as I go.
Okay. So
I
so I'm clear, you don't remember her actually giving consent or permission, but you do remember
assume
popping
because
her
you
back.
normally do.
Because
I always make sure I do that because even my boss, even a female I don't know at work, I always get their permission 100%.
Okay, so
There's
Officer Odom made a good point. So remember that conversation I had about sitting in our shoes, how things look? You remember the parts of the conversation that make you look good, but you don't remember the parts of the conversation that could make you look
like I
bad.
said, I remember talking to her about wanting to go to school for that thing. Along those lines. After that point, she said, along with what she said, because I'm trying to piece it back in my head, it's coming back. I'm really trying to remember this, and I'm being painted like I'm a bad guy right now. Like I
No
intentionally.
one's painting you that way. We're just trying to understand what happened that day, and you're telling us you can't remember. At what point you said that part of what I said was coming back to you? What part of that?
Was it, okay, the first part of the conversation, I got to talk about school. I said, okay, cool. She was talking about the morning thing. And she just got adjusted that morning. Oh, Jesus, I'm trying to remember this. I suck at this.
Yeah, you do. You suck at not looking guilty.
Should I even picked her up in the first damn place?
Yeah.
Done it.
Yeah, man. Shouldn't have spread her cheeks with your bulge.
Not maliciously, just made a bad decision. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm seeing a guy that is not a murderer, not a rapist, but a guy that is refusing to admit what he did wrong, and is trying to do everything he can to cover his tracks.
Well, I mean, believe what you want to, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not that person. Out of 18 plus, ever since I was the age of 18 till now, I've never had this problem. Never, and I will never have this problem. This is gonna be a one and done.
But you have it. You have it now.
Deal here, because I've never had this problem.
Well, I do appreciate that.
Because to me, this is a detriment to my character. And like I said, I have character witnesses right now would attest to the kind of person I really
You want to save those witnesses for your court date, sir.
am. I would not just go up and pick up any random female, like yourself. I would never do that to you.
Well, on that note,
Unless you want to pop their
I'm
backs.
sure this young lady could pull character witnesses to say that she just doesn't make up stories about being assaulted.
That's all I got to say about it. Because I did not pick her up without permission. I will not do that. That's all I'm going to say about it.
All right.
You know what tells me a lot about your character?
What's up?
When you said you have 2 daughters, and if someone, they were a little older, they said that they could feel someone's genitals behind them, poking them in the butt, and you said, I just want answers.
Because you can't.
No. The thing is, you would believe your daughters if that really happened.
Yes, I would.
Automatically,
you would believe your daughters.
Yes, and I would get to the bottom of it because you can't just go out here and do anything you want to anymore.
I'm not saying you go out
I
there.
think what Officer
anything
Odom
you
is
want
pointing
to.
out is she agrees with me in the sense of you're trying to cover everything you know about your bad decision. Instead of this is my thing. Instead of my father told me a long time ago, a measure of a man.
Why are they talking to him like they're trying to get him to clear his conscience? They're trying to get him to entrap himself.
Is not the mistake he makes, but how a man admits he made a mistake and owns up to it.
Don't admit the shit.
That's all I'm going to say
And
about it.
everything in this conversation is the opposite of that. Everything is not, you know what, guys? I want to talk to this young lady because you know what? I f***ed up. I made a bad decision.
I mean, I want to talk to her right now myself.
Well, not fair, but the reason I wouldn't want you to do that is because you're not a... If you come in here and said, look, you're right, guys, I made a bad choice. She didn't give me permission. I shouldn't have picked her up. You're right, I did. And
Okay,
I pray to God that she
All
doesn't.
right, they're just going back and forth. They don't have any proof. They don't have any proof, man. Damn it. Thought they would have proof and they'll catch him, but nah, it's a weird dude. It's not paying attention to what he's saying or what she said, and he just, popped back. So I'll show you, and he popped back, and she felt a little bit too much on her back. Man, that was weird. Anyways, it was fun though. Until next time.